Hey, Serena here from thriftiving.com. So a couple of years ago, I did a blog post on how to take ordinary scrapbook paper and turn it into a DIY drawer organizer. Well, then I realized, Serena, you didn't actually film the tutorial to show people how to do this. So that's what we're going to cover today. We are taking pretty scrapbook paper and turning it into DIY drawer organizers. So if you're like me, if you've got like crafting supplies to organize, if you've got a sock drawer, underwear drawer, and maybe even your junk drawer, because we all have them. That's what we're going to do in this video. And also, you can use these instructions on taking just regular scrapbook paper and using them for DIY gift boxes. All right, so let's jump into it because we've got some organizing to do. So for this project, you're going to need some pretty scrapbook paper, and you really could use any size of paper, just a matter of what size box you want. Now, if you go with something that's a little more standard, the 12 by 12, you're going to get a box that's about 4.5 inches all around. If you go with the size 8 squares, you're going to get a box about, I think it's 3 inches. And then of course, if you use the smaller 6 by 6 paper, you're going to get an even smaller box. So just keep that in mind. As long as you've got a square piece of paper, you can make whatever size box you want. So sky's the limit, guys. Sky's the limit. All right, so the first thing we're going to do with our paper is we're going to lay it face down, and we're going to put it in a diamond, and we're going to draw a line using a ruler from this point to this point, this point to this point. And what this will allow us to do, oh, I wish I had a larger, do I have something larger? I don't. Okay, we're going to try to draw a straight line. If we don't blame it on me. Hey, there we go. All right, so we're going to draw a X here on the back from point to point. And we're just going to fold it into the center, pressing the sides. Now at this point, we are going to need some glue. So I've got a glue gun here, but you know, if you want to use some double-sided tape or a glue stick, that works fine. I tend to stick with the glue gun just because it is a little bit long lasting. It's a little bit more hardy, I should say. All right, so we're going to create a box here and try to bring it into the center. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the top and the bottom, and we're going to fold these sides in to the center. Now at this point, you could, if you wanted to, put some glue here. I like to do that, so I'm just going to put a little tab of glue. There we go, just a little bit, just to hold it in place, because we are going to be folding these in, and these little flaps will move on you. All right, so, but you don't want to add too much glue because it'll make it bumpy. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to fold these sides in to meet at the center line and press. Fold this side in to meet at the center and press. All right, so now that we have these two sides folded in, we're going to open that up temporarily. And now we're going to fold this side up, and we're going to fold this side up again. Now we're going to have a crease here. You can't see it very well because of the pattern, but I'm just creasing this just to make it easier to see. So we've got a crease here, and we've got a crease over on this side. So we're going to take our scissors, and we're going to cut from this corner all the way up to where the line is. We'll cut this corner, we'll rotate, and we'll cut this corner and this corner to create the flaps. All right, so now we can open it up, and we've got two flaps here. So this is where I like to do some pre-pressing, I guess you could say. It makes it easier. So the first thing I like to do is take this little side here and just bend it up, fold it, and then release. Do the same for this side. These are going to create the corners, and it's just easier if you have that pre-fold there. I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to do the same for this side. I'm just going to fold it up right to where that cut is. And I'm just going to pre-press. All right. I'm also going to pre-press these little flaps here. So where that cut is, I'm just going to fold that up and press. These are creating the sides of the box. I'm going to open that out. And I'm going to do this side as well. I'm going to press. All right, so now that we have this all open, we have it all pressed, for the most part. We are going to take this side, this little flap, and this flap, and we're going to bring them together and open them out. So now we're creating our box. Now because we had done a little flap here, we can bring this part up and flip it over. Now this is where it would come in handy to do some pre-folding as well, but we can create our sides there. And now we can turn this around and do the other side. So take that flap that we folded in, open that up, pull this side up and tuck it under. Just being careful. All right. So now when we tuck that under, our box is pretty much done. Now we do want to put a little bit of glue or tape on these flaps. So I'm just going to put a little bead of glue and then just press that into place so it doesn't move. For this project, we are actually making a DIY drawer organizer. So what we want to do is have a lot of these little boxes and then we're going to glue them all together and maybe even add something decorative. So let's go ahead and fold the rest of those boxes. And I'm telling you, once you get comfortable making these boxes, I mean, it literally would take you probably less than a minute to make one box. That's how easy it is to make. So I made a bunch of them, but I did various sizes. I did the 12 by 12, the 8 by 8, and the 6 by 6. And I have to admit, I really enjoyed doing the 6 by 6s. Anyway, once you've made your boxes, organize them, lay them out. One thing that I noticed is that I don't think these are perfectly square. I do notice that they tend to be a little longer, like more of a rectangle, but anyway, just make sure that you lay them out, turn them around, make sure that the sizes are exactly matched before you decide to hot glue them. And I just took some hot glue and spread it all on the side, and I just did 2 at a time. I didn't want to put too much hot glue at one time because you know, hot glue, it dries very quickly. So do 2 of the boxes together and then do, 2 of the other boxes together. And once you've got a set of boxes, then you can start gluing them together. So just lay them out and plan how you want to glue them all together. You'll see here that I'm using paper clips to hold them together after hot gluing, but honestly, I discovered that I didn't even really need to do that because the hot glue worked well enough on its own. Okay, so I did make some 8 by 8 boxes, and then I did some 6 by 6 boxes. Now here, let me describe to you how to actually make the bottom of a gift box, because you can use this to do gift boxes. So you would make it the exact same way. The only difference is that you would take off probably about 1/2 inch from the right side and another 1/2 inch from the bottom side. So you're only going to be taking off 1/2 inch from 2 of the sides. And when you do that, it creates a smaller box that easily fits inside of the top. So you've got a top box and you've got a bottom box. Now the 6 by 6 scrapbook paper will give you a box this size, which is 2 by 2, and I think it's perfect for jewelry, earrings. Now remember the other day we did metal stamping and I showed you, hey, you can do rings too. Well, if you wanted to make rings for the holidays, for birthdays, you can easily put a ring in this box and personalize the box yourself, just from your own scrapbook paper pile. Anyway, it was time to assemble all of these. I did 9 of the smaller 2 by 2 boxes and then hot glued them together like I did the large ones. And I wanted to use something decorative around the edges. Whenever I do these drawer organizers, I like to put ribbon or lace or something to just hide those seams. So I used some of this lace that I had lying around and just did a dab of hot glue all the way around the perimeter, and it held on nicely. And then the other boxes, the 8 by 8 boxes, I did 6 of those and they came out to be 3 inches each. So like 3 inches by 3 inches, give or take. And I did another layer of the lace around the edges just to hide the seams. And I thought it looked pretty good with the pink. You know, I love pink. And here's an idea too. Try using some thicker woven material. You can cut your own fabric. You can use some thicker canvas trim like this. It all looks really good. It just depends on what you want to do. I wouldn't say that this trim actually matches this scrapbook paper, but it's what I had on hand at the time. And I just really wanted to try it and see if it would work. And it did. It actually gave it a lot of structure, and you can get really creative here. So the sky's the limit. Now back to the gift boxes for a second. I actually put some of the lace on the top of the bottom part of the gift box. I'd never done that, but I thought it was a really cute idea, right? And some of that metal stamp jewelry that we did the other day, I was able to put that in the box, put a little bit of the tissue paper on top, and this makes a great gift. So, something to consider wrapping your stuff in come the holiday season. All right, now let's jump back into some of the drawer organizers that I did and just some ideas for things that you could stuff them full of. So I really like the smaller one, the 2x2, because I'd never made one like this before with the 2x2s. So, anything that's small that maybe you would want to keep together, whether it's jewelry or paper clips, I think it looks good on top of a dresser or in your desk. Now, this is my favorite bracelet. I got it from the thrift store for a couple dollars. It's really cute, right? It fits perfectly in the medium size one. There's those bracelets again that we made, and my favorite hair clip. So, again, something decorative that can sit out on your dresser. And the larger ones, I actually use these for my socks, for my underwear. I've got one in my husband's drawer and in my kids' drawers. So they work really well for socks and underwears. And also, did I just say underwears? Underwears is not a word. Hey, it's a late night. But anyway, in my craft area, I do use the larger ones to organize, and I still have to make some for the other drawers here. So those drawer organizers are a lot of fun, right? I told you they're really simple and you can actually make gift boxes out of them. So they're very versatile. So if you like this project, be sure to give it a thumbs up and go back to my blog, thriftiving.com, subscribe to my email list, and I will send you 5 ebooks, printables, and checklists. And don't forget to hit that bell because you want to be notified when new videos are up here at Thrift Diving. So with that, I will see you next video. So I love pink, right? Well, I'm knitting this amazing wrap right here, and it's pink. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and you can check out those videos right there, and I'll see you next video.